Good to go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is a special session of the Mayor and Council, City of Bisbee County Chiefs, State of Arizona, being held on Monday, June 24, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. in our council chambers. Have a roll call, please.
Councilmember Juanetta Hill. Councilmember Pete Skinner.
Present.
Councilmember Frank Davis is excused. Mayor Ken Budge.
Here.
Councilmember Leslie Johns.
Here.
Councilmember Mel Sweet isn't here yet, and neither is Mayor Pro Tem Anna Klein. City staff, Stephen Hawkins, City Manager, Ashley Coronado, City Clerk, Tim Cox, Police Chief, Jim Richardson, Fire Chief.
Thank you. This is a special session. We're going to be right into item 1, this discussion and possible approval to allow the Bisbee Police Department to purchase 4 new handheld VP8000 VHF radios and equipment in the amount of $18,690.85 using general fund police capital expenditure. Chief, sir. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. So this is a request to purchase these radios. It's to get us, again, back up in the modern age. Our current P25 radio system, which is installed in the city of Bisbee, is still non-functional. We're waiting on it to get up and running. In the meantime, we've been piggybacking off the Cochise County system, the Sheriff's Office system, which is pumped into CCOM. We got new radios from the county through the DEMA grant. Those radios enable us to have a much bigger and broader communication ability than we have with our own radios. It enables our officers to be able to speak and communicate county-wide, whereas our radios are limited to the city of Bisbee. So what this is it's a request to get us enough radios so when I am fully staffed and have all my officer positions filled, I have enough dual band capable radios with county-wide communications abilities to issue to every single sworn officer on the force. And this, the budgeting for this, it wasn't a budgeted item. It's more of a needed item, but I had enough at the end of the year through savings that I've done throughout the year to be able to cover this. And that was the reason for this special session, and the request is to be able to get this done so I can get it on my end of the year and get it approved.
Before the budget runs out.
Before the budget runs out, yes, sir. So if you guys have any questions regarding the radios, what they're capable of, what I'm doing. Just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, the radios that we got through DEMA are Motorola APXS's, which are these. This right here in my hand, I'm holding $13,000. The radios that I want to buy are very comparable to this, and they're only about $4,600 a piece. And that includes batteries, chargers, and external mics. So it's kind of like Harley Davidson. You're paying for the sticker on the front. If it says Motorola, you're going to pay for it. So, and E.F. Johnson and Kenwood have a very good product reliability. Durham is a good corporation that's been around for many decades. We've done business with them before. I have no issues with these radios. We've actually been field testing one for, I want to say 3 months. And we haven't had an issue with it. Of course, they haven't gotten it wet yet. Maybe we could do that. Go around the parking lot. Yeah, there'll be some traffic control.
Warranty's the same.
The warranty's the same. As a matter of fact, Durham's been phenomenal with their support. We bought those new car radios using the DEMA grant, and we had an issue with a couple of them, and they were down here the next day and got them fixed in like 5 minutes. So that was great.
All right, I'll open up to questions or comments from council.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, what do you do with the old radios that these would be replaced?
They go in the backups. I use them as backups in case we have a failure or whatever. And eventually, if I can ever get to the point where I have enough of these, to where I have backups of these, then they become surplus. We give them the fire department, but ultimately, I'm hoping to get Jim on board with more of these as well, because he's in the same boat I am. So hopefully our old radios will disappear someday.
Still used by, you still have them in the Arizona Rangers, right?
The Rangers purchased their own, they actually got a grant to,
What's?
yeah. Yeah. Theirs aren't dual band capable, which is what we need, but theirs are capable of communicating with us at CCOM, which is good.
It sounds like we need a motion. Yeah. Let's get more questions.
I move to approve and allow the Bisbee Police Department to purchase 4 new handheld BP 8000 VHF radios and equipment in the amount of $18,690.85 using general fund lease capital expenditure line item. Second.
Then a motion second to approve item 1, purchase of 4 new handheld radios. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, so moved. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on, item 2, this is discussion of possible approval of settlement agreement between the city of Bisbee and Craig T. Reese and Klein.
No,
No.
not me. Please don't.
That's all. I know. In Bush, related to the property located at 30 Main. At 30 Main Street and the Main Street fire. Sorry about that. I'll ask if we get this right. City manager. It's a senior home.
No, it's been one of those.
She just doesn't want to put up her house as collateral.
That's right.
And I would either. Okay, thank you, everyone, and good evening. Based on direction that you've been given, the mayor, myself, and the city attorney have been negotiating over the last week and a half with the owners of 30 Main Street, Greg Reese and C. Bush, and had a couple of actually fairly long meetings with both of them, and so what has come out of those meetings is the settlement agreement that is before you tonight. And I know that since this went out Thursday as a council packet, I know some of you have received questions about the terms of the settlement. I know a couple of local newspapers have also called and asked us about what the settlement means. And so I'm going to try and explain it as simply as I can before you all decide whether or not to make a motion on it. Essentially, in the conversations with the owners of 30 Main, obviously there was a good bit of discussion over whether or not they had the assets available to them, they're liquid or otherwise, to satisfy a $163,000 lien that we have placed on their property. We have placed a similar lien for a slightly less amount on the property next door at 28. We're hoping, of course, that their insurance will cover the amount that is their part of it. And so just for up to that point where we put the liens on the properties, we are $400,000 into this, just making Main Street safe, okay? Because that's our role, make it safe. So after a long discussion, Mayor and I had with them, the city attorney followed up with them a few days later, and the essential terms of the settlement are what came out of that discussion, which are as follows. The transfer of the property, we will accept the property free and clear of any liens except for the lien that the city already has on the property for $163,000 in change. And that will be conveyed by method of a warranty deed to the property, which transfers the property to the city, which means we own the property, okay? Both now and forever, okay? Or until a mayor and city council would choose to sell it at some future point if they do. So I know one of the questions we've been hearing over the weekend is when they pay off their debt, will they get the property back? The answer is no, flat no. The city is not in this to borrow it for a little while and then give it back in an improved state. Since the city is going to have this property conveyed to us by means of a warranty deed, I think our aim is to keep the property and make improvements to it, and then make decisions on the disposition of that property down the line. Okay. Then the next paragraph is the payment terms. Out of our discussions, it was determined by the sellers, Mr. Reese and Ms. Bush, that they could afford to pay us $500 a month. Well, as you know, $500 a month on a $163,000 lien, even at zero interest, pays the thing off something like 60 years. While that is unacceptable on its face, what they have agreed to do is they have agreed to put a deed of trust, which is basically like collateral, on their property, guaranteeing that until they make all of those $500 payments, or they sell the property, or the property is sold as a consequence of their demise, that we will get our $163,000 back. It's a long-term thing, okay? But under the circumstances, we felt this was the best approach. This gets us back our $163,000, and all we will have to do is remind the people 12 years from now where the money's coming from. Because all of us will probably be someplace else. So, and then there's, of course, there's a default section in here, which basically, under certain conditions, if they fail to make their payments, then basically we foreclose on the other property that they own. And then, which ultimately means that property will be sold on the courthouse steps or wherever, and we will get the rest of our money through that deal. So, and then of course, the next paragraph puts in the terms of that deed of trust, and that's all pretty much legal language. And then of course, upon secure amount, we will release the amount of property. That's that's really the alpha and omega of the terms of the agreement. So again, to summarize, we will take title to the property. That means we will own it, and we're not giving it back. We've made arrangements for them to make payments to pay back the lien that we placed on the property, and a mechanism to secure the lien in case they either default on the lien or they die before they get it paid off. And then thirdly, the deed of trust, which is basically collateral on the property, so that if they do default or their demise, then that guarantees whatever the property is sold, that we will receive the remainder of what proceeds. So that's all of this. Now, all of the other issues surrounding the property are really not on the agenda tonight. This is what we have before us to consider today. Did I miss anything there?
No, not. That was very good explanation. What was published didn't have people confused about their other property. We now have the legal description of their other property. At the time on Thursday, we didn't have that part yet. So rest assured, we have that, and we have signatures from them agreeing to this. If we agree with them, then we have a pretty good.
Yes, they've already signed this agreement.
Yeah. So, let me just say in closing, there's a big consideration here. And the big consideration is the fact that without insurance, with what's happened there, I could foresee, and I think we all could, that burned out building would be nothing more than, worse than City Hall. Just middle of downtown Bisbee, nothing ever getting done, not being able to move forward. So eventually, in order to help commerce, help the rest of the businesses on Main, and actually to show that we are a viable community that is willing to step up. But I think this is the best chance that we have to acquire this property and take it on as a city and actually clean it up. I'm not anticipating or saying anything about what we're gonna do with it, except for the fact that it will be safe and cleaned up. And I'm willing to go out there and see some ideas and see what else as the council may see fit to what we may do with it. We may receive part of our money back, we may not. It's probably, that's down the road, and I'm not even making, assumptions at this point. So I'll open up to you. Is this the perfect deal? No, but is it something that we as a city can now move along and not be stuck in a horrible place for much longer down the road? I think so. And just let me add really quickly that part of this cleanup, we're already after grants. We've already started to apply for things. So we think we're going to get a good chunk of the money that will take the cleanup because we're eligible as our cities to get some money. So it may not be quite as costly as we hope. I can put numbers out there, but I just know that there is money available. They assured us that this would qualify. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to offset some of the cleanup costs. And then we sit back, and once it's clean and not a detriment anymore, we can take a breather and figure out what we want to do. That's my whole speech. Questions? Wait, one.
When you said, both of them have to die, or two, for us to clean, I'm sorry to put it that way.
No,
So if one of the party passes away, then the other still pays the 500.
Yes, if this is a community property state, okay? So that means that when one of the two of them pass away, property automatically passes to the other. So both of them would have to meet their lines for that to be paid off by reason of sale of the property. Now, on the other hand, if they default, okay, then we foreclose on the deed of trust.
This one payment?
No, I think they have to miss at least two by this contract.
Do we really want to order? Do we want to? Yeah, we can deal with that, but yes, our whole idea behind this was some skin in the game. I mean, they do owe something, and I'm also trying to mitigate the issues. We should be mitigating the issues for the city and our businesses and residents. And sometimes you just gotta go for what we can and think that the outcome will be much better than if we just set our hands.
Has a title search been done to verify that it is lien free?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the title search revealed that there's one lien on the property. Ours.
Okay. And the new property that they bought, where is it?
It's somewhere over the divide. You have it?
I'm trying to see if I have it with me. It has a parcel number, so no actual address, but it is, like you said, on the other side of it.
Multiple acres type of thing.
It's
With 5 acres, 5 acres.
I think it's 4 or 5, yeah.
Okay, and Mayor, you indicated that we're applying for some grants to be for cleanup.
Right.
Any sense of time, how long it would take to get those grants to where cleanup could start?
Actually, the money is in the bank with the county. It's the county gets money for brownfield remediation every year. This particular last round of brownfield money came in at something like $1 million. Now, we're not allowed to take it all, okay? Because it's for everybody in Cochise County. And right now, I know what they tell us we can get, but I'm differing for more. So, and I'm sorry, but I can't disclose the terms. Okay.
the situation is this, though. I mean, I have a declaration of emergency on, and I thought that would be able to get us directly to going. But the feds stick their hands in it and say we have to go out to bid. So if we have to bid to have it cleaned up, that's a 2-week we have to at least post it for 2 weeks.
And it hit the streets today, so it's already,
So we're 2
maybe
weeks,
when it's already gone.
so we're 2 weeks away from actually having a bid that we can accept. And then in those 2 weeks, we'll negotiate to what we can get out of the grass.
Well, actually negotiating a good time.
Yeah, well, in that 2 weeks, we should definitely will have.
Yeah.
If not soon.
Now, whatever it is, it will be a substantial part of what we believe to be the cost of the environmental remediation. So it will help a lot no matter what.
Okay.
Good.
I'm just glad to see us moving forward with this. It's not ideal, but we're really stuck and we need to do what we can to get Main Street back to as normal as possible, as quick as possible. And I mean, we're doing the best we can because of their negligence.
Well put.
Looks good to me.
I mean, okay, I think that's what I think this is our best foot forward. My whole thing is, I don't kick the can down the road. I want to get us moving forward and not have this burden hanging over our city for, it's already been 4 months and that's long enough. So, anyway. Motion, anyone? Since I don't have my computer.
I move to approve the settlement agreement between the city of Bisbee and Craig T. Rees and Ann C. Bush related to the property located at 30 Main Street.
Second?
I have a motion of second for item 2, which is settlement agreement between the city of Bisbee and Craig Rees and Bush for the property that is located at 30 Main. I guess we can all just say all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? Hearing none, that's unanimous, so moved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And the last item on the agenda is discussion of possible approval of a contract for publishing services official paper of record for the Bisbee Observer. You don't have a mic, but talk loud. That's fine.
Every year we're required to go out to bid for our newspaper of record. Like many years in the past, the Bisbee Observer is the only one that has placed a bid with us. She's increased it by 5 cents per column, so it's a tiny increase. So it's $5.30 per column inch per publication.
Like we should support our local. They're a dying breed, and if nothing else, even if somebody else bid different, I would probably go with that one. Anyone else? Can I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the contract for publishing services / official newspaper of record with the Bisbee Observer. Second?
A motion second to approve the contract for publishing services with the Bisbee Observer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, chair determines the ayes have it, so moved. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move that we adjourn. Second.
And motion second to adjourn, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
I think I heard